Hello, this is Taha.
This is Anaina,
This is Movie Masala.
and we're here to yap at you about films we watched recently.
And today we're doing Moana 2.
You are so bad at this.
I'm the best at this. I was a human, but now I'm a demigod. You never know what's next.
I do. Nalo's monstrous storm?
Well, you want to get through it?
Huh? Try it.
Here's the thing. You're down in the dumps. You think you're way off your game, but you can turn it around. Come on, remember your name. Don't waste all this energy, because you got the remedy, and I know your legacy.
Ooh, I love Moana. Moana is my favorite Disney film. It unlocks something in me, so I'm very interested to hear your thoughts.
Okay, so I feel easy recap of this film is that it's a competently made sequel that's just not as well made or is not as well crafted as the original, right? I'm just going to give you a very basic overview of what happens that after the Hat of Te is restored and that Moana is now trying to find remnants of other people, other tribes, basically. And in that, she finds this mountain of Motufitu and now embarks on a quest to find it. There is a god. Now I have to remember the names of all of these, and I really do not want to butcher any of them because, again, to the film's credit and to the previous one's credit as well, it's rooted in a lot of Polynesian culture. And I think this is the same case for the sequel as well. So to rediscover the island of Motufitu after a god Nalo kind of drowned it, right? And then so she has a crew this time as well. Moni, who's this big, strong guy who can lift stuff, but also is a massive Maui fanboy. You have Kiki, who's this grumpy farmer dude. And then you have Loto, who is like this very smart craft person. She is basically very autistic coded in the sense of very smart person who is not very inept at understanding social cues or also does not care about social cues as well is more of an inference you can take from that. It's very hard to see her as not autistic coded in the way often like geniuses are in fiction. It's never done to her detriment that it never undermines her character. Her character is always fun. It's always jubilant in a sense as well. Like she always has this creativity and this eye of wonder or like scientific vigor in her, which is really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I feel she is the strongest supporting character as well. Her personality shines through the most, I feel. Moni also shines through a fair bit, but his is played for jokes against Maui, basically. But I think the other two side characters just don't get that much to do, really. So yeah, then it follows kind of the original where you go on this adventure and they try and find the island of Motufitu and make it so that all of the tribes can be reunited once again.
Okay.
So yeah, a lot of the vice cast returned. Auli'i, Cravalho, still probably butchered that. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, we know him, easy name. He returns as well. And again, amongst returning cast, the voice acting is really fun. It's good. Again, a lot of actual Maori and Polynesian actors are behind the voices as well, which is always great to see. So I think in that regards, it really does shine through as well. And also, I feel it visually, it's really good. Visually, when it's firing on cylinders, it does a great job. And I think partly is the direction of David J. Derrick and Jason Han, who are both within the art department and like productions on other films as well. And that's why I think they bring that experience through. And I think that does well.
I mean, I did hear that the making of this film was quite different from the first one because, well, the only thing that I kind of read about was the fact that Lin-Manuel Miranda did not write the songs for this one. And I mean, I haven't heard the songs for this one yet, but and as much as people make fun of Lin-Manuel Miranda and say that, he has this one style which he sticks to or whatever, his songs are still bangers from any and all movies. So, I mean, I'm interested to see how kind of that aspect of the film, because after all, it is a Disney film. There are going to be songs. There's no point to a Disney film without its songs. So I'm interested to see how, the legacy of Lin-Manuel Miranda kind of, does it carry into this film or not?
Yeah, so again, this brings you to the other side, which is the writers, right? So the only writer that has been carried forward from the original films is Jared Bush, while on the other hand, Ron Clements and John Musker don't return. Ron Clements and John Musker also are very celebrated writers as well as directors, right? They also directed on the original film. And they've done films like The Little Mermaid, they've done Hercules, they've done Aladdin, Princess and the Frog. So these two have a lot of like good songwriting as well as like just good writing and directing experience within them. And I think this is something that the film lacks. Again, with the songs as well, there are some good songs in this. I like Finding the Way. I also think just the background orchestral songs and within just the Maori chants and everything and just the Polynesian, like all of that, those are really good and those are just like very uplifting. They just make you full of this spirit of like wonder and just like, yeah, let's do this. Like we are going to explore, we explore. This fills you up with this sense of wonder for the world.
I mean, from the first film, my favorite songs, the songs that would almost get me to cry, would be the ones that would have indigenous chants and the indigenous like singing and stuff, because it makes you feel so good, and it kind of really highlights the community aspect of the film. Like the film really wants to highlight these people and their legacy. So I mean, I'm glad to see that's at least carried forward like quite well into the second one.
Yeah, so it's the song Beyond. I think it's written by Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear. And that really is that anchoring ballad for a lot of that. And I think that is genuinely the sequel's best piece of music. On the other hand, I do feel some of them aren't as well written. This is not a Wish situation though, where the songs just feel like badly written in a way. I feel maybe sometimes with music, the more you hear it, the more it catches on. But the first one, you just hear it in the initial time and it's just in your ear. It's just there, right? Like I can say the same with Encanto as well, where Encanto, there were songs and they were just, and that's Lin-Manuel Miranda for you, right? He just knows how to write those catchy lyrics. And I feel that is somewhat missing here, right? So again, this just becomes overall, like again, it's a very competent and feels specifically as it comes towards the end, it solidifies more and more and it becomes better and better as it goes on. It still never reaches the heights of the original, but I still feel like this is very competently made. It's just again that feeling of polish or this feeling of experience that the first one had that really like etches it above that I feel this one lacks. But other than that, it's hard to come at this and be like it's in any way derivative or it's any way like I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the idea of let's find other people, find what connects us. And even the idea of Nalo separating all of these people to give himself to make sure he stays more powerful. That's a very colonial narrative within the story as well. And I feel that chimes through as in like the idea of like all of these people coming together in the end to defeat him. And even there's this character who, like, I won't spoil much, but who's like a reluctant henchman for Nalo. And even that idea, like, I feel has that themes of, again, that's colonial mindset of like still working for someone without like necessarily wanting to. I think in that sense, although it's again missing from the first one, which is a lack of like a proper villain, even though in the first one, Twist is the Tafiti is the person they were looking for. They need to defeat her and everything. But with this one, Nalo is more like a overarching presence and not a character they interact with directly. So they're more interacting with Nalo's barriers and thing Nalo throws at them to stop them, like these storms, these electricities, other creatures and everything, but never Nalo directly. So I feel it lacks that one villain character that really like, pushes it up. I think almost any great Disney film has that solid villain and has that villain song that I think really scratches that such a specific itch that Disney just does really well. And I feel that is also missing. So yeah, those are all of my thoughts. It's not much to add there because again, decently film can't lie about that. But I feel there's like small things that could just make it cross that line into then as good as the original.
Right. Fair enough. I'm excited to watch it. I'm saving to watch it with my sister. But yeah.
Oh, I hope you have fun. So, well, that was our thoughts. This was another episode of Movie Masala. Thank you for tuning in. This podcast is produced solely by us, musical assets from Pixabay. See you again next time.
Bye-bye.